here, Walter here from Naked Forex, the book you may have read, Full-Time Trader. And I'm going to talk today about, we know that there's three things that you can do to get your trading up and running where you want it. Number one, you find a system that makes sense to you that you know has a positive expectancy. That's number one. Number two, you have rules, risk rules that help you achieve what you're trying to achieve. And number three, tres, is you have your psychology set up. And so because really what it comes down to is execution. You can know what to do, but sometimes we don't do it. Now, if you like what we're talking about here today, you should definitely check out the free course. It's still up at nakedtradingclass.com. The link is above or below this video. You'll find it there. And that link will get you to the three ways to quickly accelerate the growth of your trading account. Now, today I want to talk about how to achieve your trading goals, which is number two part of the three-part things that you need. And have you ever, I have to admit, I have been to a strip club. Have you ever been to a strip club? It's not something that like I really wanted to do, but my friends were like, and then people say, oh yeah, right, whatever. But it's true. It was a long time ago. And you hear people say, oh, like when you go out to like bars or clubs or whatever, you hear women say things like, oh, well, men always want this, or they always want that. They only have one thing on their mind or whatever. And I'm sure that the women at the strip club probably think the same thing. Oh, these men only have one thing on their mind or whatever, right? But I don't think it's actually true. I don't think it's true. I think that there are lots of different motivations. And the reason why I'm talking about this right now is because this relates directly to what we're going to talk about when it comes to your risk rules. Your motivations kind of drive what you're trying to achieve. And so it's the same thing at the strip club. Like there could be guys there that are divorced and they're like, you know, man, I don't know about getting a girlfriend. Maybe I'll just go to the strip club. Or there could be somebody out there with their girlfriend. Their girlfriend's like, hey, I always wanted to see what the strip club's like, so let's go, you know, or whatever. Or there could be maybe someone's watching their sister, you know, dance for the first time. Like, you know, she got her job there and her friends or her brother or sister or whatever, like, hey, let's watch our sister. She's up there dancing now or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know. There's lots of reasons why you might go to a strip club, though. And that's exactly the same thing with trading. There's lots of, hey, morning. There's lots of reasons why people trade. They're trying to get certain goals. I've read your book. It's amazing how much my trading has improved. Excelente. Glad to hear it. All right. So the first thing you want to think about when you're trying to achieve your goals is what are your objectives? Okay. One objective could be, hey, this is all my trading money. I don't want to lose it. So that's my objective. Another objective could be, hey, I've got like what we're doing in the small account, big profits class. You can learn about that when you go to the free class here at nakedtradingclass.com. The small account, big profits class is like, we want to take a little tiny amount of money and grow it quickly. So we don't care about the drawdowns. Like the drawdowns are, I mean, drawdowns are part of the equation, but they're a very limited part. Whereas if I had, let's say 100 grand and that was all the money I had to trade, then I would want to be really, really careful with that 100 grand. Now, if I broke off $1,000 of that 100 grand of my trading capital and I use that to get really aggressive, then that would be a different story, right? But that's what we're talking about in our small account, big profits course. And that's what you can learn all about that course, by the way, at nakedtradingclass.com. So number one is, what are your objectives? That's the first thing you need to understand when you want to reach your trading goals. Are you trying to grow your account to a certain level, a certain amount? You want to go up to, you know, take 10,000 to 100,000, or you want to take 50,000 to $500,000, or whatever it is. It could be a dollar amount. It could be, I don't want to have a 20% drawdown. All of us have somewhere inside of us a level that when we lose that amount of money, we stop. Now, it's better if you go into trading knowing what that is so that you don't stop when you start trading. That's the ideal, right? Is that you don't stop trading because you've hit that level, not anticipating what it is. I've talked about in other videos how you can use the risk calculator to figure out the likelihood of you hitting that level. And so that's in other videos. But that's the number one thing is, what is your objective? Is it to hit a certain amount of money? Is it to not hit a certain drawdown level? Is it to not lose all of your money? What is it that you're trying to do? Is it a certain amount per week, per month, per quarter, per year? What is it that you want to retire after 3 or 4 years of doing this? What's your goal really? Is it to replace your income for your job? Now, if that's the case, let's say you're making $10,000 a month. If you're making $10,000 a month, you'd probably want to be averaging about 13,000 with your trading before you dump that job. That's what I would recommend, because you're going to have some down months that you're not going to be able to pull money out. So, and also you'd want to have like 6 to 12 months of money just sitting there waiting for you, right? So that if you don't make money certain months, you can draw on that as well. So that's a whole nother story. The second component really is your psychology and what you believe about trading, what you believe about what's possible. What you'll notice if you go on the internet, like for example, I was talking about the strip club. If you could spend way too long on YouTube, what you'll find is crazy. Like I saw a video of a guy who went to a strip club on another planet. Now, first of all, in the solar system, I didn't know that we had strip clubs on other planets. And second of all, can you imagine what the strip club would be like with like low gravity or whatever? I mean, it's amazing. It's totally crazy. So you can spend a lot of time on YouTube. You can go deep into weird topics that you never thought existed. But when we talk about psychology, it really becomes important to just, to figure out, what's going to be most painful for you. Is it to have a 30% drawdown? Is it to be, losing for weeks and weeks on end? Psychologically, there's a certain pain tolerance, an uncle point that you can tolerate, and you don't want to push that too hard. And you can set up your risk so that you don't hit that, right? So that's number two. Number one is, what are you trying to achieve? What are your objectives? Number two is, what kind of pain can you endure? And number three really is, what kind of rules are you going to use? What kind of risk rules are you going to use? We talk about some in the class, in the Naked Trading class, where you can get the 3 ways to increase an account size rather quickly. We talk about a specific system that not a lot of traders talk about. It's kind of more in the futures realm of trading, but it's pretty awesome. And I encourage you, if you haven't taken the free class, take the free class at Naked Trading Class and see if that one might be something that works for you. So there are lots of variables here to think about. You could use some version of Optimal F. That's another one that you might want to use. Or you could use like you have 3 accounts, where you have like a small account where you're risking 1%, and then your medium account where you're risking like 2%, another one where you're risking 3%, your really hyper aggressive account. And maybe you have 70% of your money in the conservative 1% account. You have 15% of your money in the medium aggressive, and then 15% in the hyper aggressive. Something like that could work. So there are lots of different ways to do it. But the important thing for you to note is that those 3 things are what will help you get you to your goals. What are your objectives? What is your psychology like? And finally, what are the rules? What are you going to do? And going into that, if you go into your trading knowing all this stuff beforehand, can really help. And I hope this helps. Trading should be mind-numbing boring. If it's not mind-numbing boring, then you haven't done your test. So I agree with you. When it's super boring, what that means is the excitement's gone. So what's exciting is gambling. Gambling is exciting. Trading isn't really that exciting. It actually gets, in the beginning it can be, because you don't know what's going to happen. But once you kind of work out your Monte Carlo runs, once you start running through your risk calculator, all that stuff we talked about in other videos, what typically happens is you just want to accelerate through your stats as fast as you can. You just want to burn through them and get to where you want to go. So definitely agree with that. All right, guys, if you want to get the class, it's at nakedtradingclass.com. Maybe the link is above or below this video. I will see you in the next video, and I wish you happy trading. Thanks for spending time here. See you later. Bye.